spirit of this class. Thank you very much. Carl's taught in this class. Okay, well, let me welcome everyone to this first class of what I hope will be a number of classes like this that's designed to help small contractors get bonding. And I think you all know the importance of it. I don't need to belabor that. Anything I would say would probably get repeated online anyway. We're glad you're here. We're going to see your ranks grow and kind of rolling admissions to this class. And the design of this thing is to make sure that we get you guys through this, get good business plans developed, get you to bonding, and make sure we're recording, Ron. There you go. You keep going in front of that.
I'm sorry.
It's all recorded. Okay, let me start over. Ron, eh? Hi, I'm Ed
Editing all day.
Okay, well, you know, it's Saturday morning. If you're not having a good time, you know, we're in trouble. But anyway, glad you're here. As I said, we're going to have more of you join us. This is the first of what will be at least 2, maybe 3 classes like this under some funding we've gotten from the Department of Health and Human Services. We're hoping to grow and expand this thing. The job here, I think, as you know, if you're going to be trying to get any contracts under the stimulus money that's coming out, federal, state funding that's coming from the stimulus package, you got to have bonding for a lot of the work. So we're hoping that by working with you on this, it will get you all the bonding and give you an opportunity to bid on that work and get that work and hire people locally. The other thing I'll say is that the design of this program, and it's an agreement I'd like to get from you all up front, is that if we succeed in getting you to bonding, as you grow, you'll agree to hire one graduate of a program like our pre-apprenticeship training program that helps people get skills in the construction industry for every 3 new people you hire in the field. We're not asking you to hire anybody who's untrained and not ready to go to work. And we're not telling you that, you know, once you hire them, you've got to keep them. We'd like you to, because what we want to do is produce effective, productive folks. So if you're a contractor and you're going into business, or you're in business and you want to grow, we want to help you do that. And we'd like you to help us hire other folks in the community as well. So that's the design of this effort. That's the player to be named later in this trade. We have great partners in this effort. You're going to meet Brian Forte from Broadlands. You've already met Brian. You've met Ray and Anthony from Laida and Connie from NAMAC. I'd like to ask them, each of our partners come up and talk to you for a second. And then we're going to turn the class over to Brian, who will be the primary instructor for the balance of the training program. Thanks for coming.
I got one question. Sure. The pre-apprentice partnership program.
Yes.
What are the qualifications? I want to find some information.
Be glad to have you. Ron Green is our director of training for the pre-apprenticeship program.
Okay.
Talk to Ron, he'll tell you all about it. We have folks that have we probably trained 1,000 people in Camden in the last 10 years. And probably 750 to 800 of them have been for the construction pre-apprenticeship program.
Okay.
So we run a program that's pretty good, serious program, runs generally around 7 to 10 weeks. And we get folks through, make sure they're ready for construction, have their OSHA training. Math is a big factor, make sure these folks understand that. And so anyway, Ron will be more detailed, look forward to working with you.
All right.
Thank you, everybody. Who's next? Brad, you want to? Sure.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
Morning.
Friday morning, I got my second cup. Saturday morning, I got my second cup of coffee. I just want to get an idea of who we have in the room. Wouldn't mind going around the room, just introducing yourself, your trade, and your company's name?
Where we gonna start?
Start with you.
Okay, well, you want me to stand up or stay? Okay, my name is George Jorge Rivera. My company is Cannon Electric LLC. I've been in business for 3 years, and I'm looking forward to working Cannon with this new information. I joined NAMI, which is the National Association of Minority Contractors, and I have spoken to you, and I went to AIDA and all that, which has been helpful. You know, I've been learning new stuff, and hopefully I can get more work. Same here.
My name is Kevin Hetzel. The name of my company is 55 by 11 Construction Services. Primarily a residential home builder, but we focus on good quality work, whether it's commercial, residential. We do a fair bit of contract project management and contract home building. Spent the last 15 years in some piece or form of home building, whether corporate operations for a big national or a director of operations for a small custom builder. I've published an architectural digest twice, and looking to expand my footprint and take advantage of some opportunities in Canada.
My name's Al Davis. Currently Company name, I'm working on it. I'm here basically seeking information and trying to get in line. I'm waiting now for my builder's license. I basically spent the last 20 years or so working for, like he said, the major companies, making a lot of people a lot of money. And this economic downturn is you got to reinvent yourself because they're doing fine. The tolls of the world that says they're doing no good, but for the last 12 years they've been making 40% profit and things like that. They're fine, but like I said, now is a time for just to reinvent yourself and go in business for yourself.
What do you specialize in?
Home building.
General carpentry or?
The whole soup to nuts. I've spent most of my time in estimating, and then probably the last 15 years in the field. As a project manager, you know what I mean, running. Well, when it was good, you only had to run 2 jobs, but when it got bad, you had to run 5 or 6 jobs. And pretty much had to have skates on to keep up. That's what I'm doing.
I'm Dexter Boozer, I'm retired military reservist and retired Navy employee. As a civilian, person that did computer repair for the Navy, 15 years. I started my business 5 years prior to retiring from the Department of Navy as a builder. I got my builder's license. I built 7 homes in Glassboro. And from that time, I said, well, I wanted to do greenhouse building as far as making sure that I basically make money off the utility companies. So I have a 6.6 kilowatt system on my house. I have geothermal in my house. I'm doing PEX tubing in my house, so my house can be totally green once I'm finished with my house. So I have 2 building lots I'm working on now for the spring this year here, and they're going to be totally green. They're going to be rented out as a green home since I can't sell them. The market's so bad right now. Also, I'm a licensed solar contractor. I just got my license through the state of New Jersey. Listed as a solar contractor, and I'm listed with PSEG as a solar contractor. And in order to be listed with the state of New Jersey, they had 3 solar jobs, so I partnered with another guy that had 40 solar jobs, so I'm listed as a solar contractor with the state of New Jersey also. And my company name is DRB Construction LLC. When I converted my vehicles over to commercial vehicles, so then I can use it as a tax advantage, because a lot of companies I see out, they don't use their vehicles with commercial tags. You can't write off your only thing you can write off on your vehicle on a regular tag is the mileage. But when you convert it to commercial, you can write it off 100% on your taxes. So
Appreciate it too.
So I've been more or less asking other builders that built in the past, and asking why don't they do homes green, and basically their answer to me was it's too expensive. But then it helps the customer in the long term, because basically your utilities won't get more than your work vice versa, gas and electric. And even with the PEX tubing, that's a better way of heating your home, you can use solar hybrid panels too. So I have a background in government and contracting, so.
Good morning, my name is Patience Rivers, I'm known as Pat Rivers. My company is PRR Linear Communications, we're based right here in Camden. Our company, we've been in business for 10 years now. I'm the president. We're all still members of NAMAC, proud members of NAMAC. Our business is telephone communications. I spent 30 years with the telephone company, and like Al said, I made millions for them, and now it's time, for money for me. So we've done most of the brand new churches in the city of Camden, Antioch, Nazarene Baptist, Mount Calvary's Christian Communications Building, all new constructions. And we do aerial cabling, we do underground cabling. We call in the telephone company, negotiate with Verizon on, bringing in their facilities into the new buildings. We also have 2 contracts with City of Philadelphia. We maintain and service all of their payphones in the city-owned buildings, like the courthouses, libraries, police, fire. We've had that contract about 8 years now. We also have a contract providing inventory, telephone inventory to the city of Philadelphia.
My name is Carl Ray. I'm a union carpenter for the last 25 years, and I've been an instructor here for the last 3 years. So I've been
You asked about our pre-apprenticeship program, and Jorge, here's our instructor, Carl.
Okay.
So I've been developing the students. I've been doing home remodeling for the last 20 years or so. So got them doing hands-on. We do a lot of remodeling work, basements, bathrooms, kitchens, and getting close to retirement, so I wanted to develop my own company and with programs, different programs going on. I utilize some of the guys here that need experience while they either laid off or they're not working. I try to get them started, and it's been picking up. So I'm planning on leaving the union, retiring, and starting my own company. So going full time.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Stuart Betzel. I'm the owner of my company, Lake Glen Enterprises, which we are primarily a general construction and concrete and masonry and light excavation construction company. We incorporated in 1992. We primarily have been working on projects as subcontractors to some of the larger general contractors in the Philadelphia, New Jersey, Delaware region. We currently are self-performing a general construction project, a 7,000 square foot building in Belmar, New Jersey. We also have worked on some state projects and some city local projects with Delaware River Port Authority, Patco High Speed Line. We are working on a project right now in Philadelphia with NTEC Construction at Channel 6, which is building a new building. We're responsible for all the sidewalks, curbs, exterior foundations for light poles, camera bases, guardhouse foundations, etc. We have approximately, from any given time, 6 to 7 employees. One of the reasons why I'm here today is that we were bonded before and found that we were unable to be competitive, so I had to go back to doing subcontract work, and I'm looking to try and reestablish that bonding for the company now and grow some of these opportunities in the New Jersey and stimulus package projects.
welcome everybody. I'm excited about this program. I don't know, I'll tell you a little bit about my history. I'm the president and CEO of the Latin American Economic Development Association, or LAEDA. Before that, I was the owner of Lamboy Furniture Company on Broadway. So we had a family business here since 1970, and Canada is near and dear to my heart. And the goal of LAEDA coming together with ACP, NAMAC, and Broadlands is to make sure that the millions and millions of dollars that are going to be invested in this city stay in this city. And I don't believe in the local hire requirement being filled by brick jockeys. I believe it should be filled by businessmen and women from the city of Canton, hiring Canton residents to do electrical work, plumbing work, carpentry work, and so on. So we bring to the table here for your training and for your development of your businesses our business support services. LAD has been around since 1987. We had our core program is the Entrepreneurial Development Training Program, which has been operating for 20 years. And we've created over 378 businesses, many of which are still in business today. If you drive around the city, I'm going to start having put little stickers on their door, LAEDA graduate, just so you can see. Santana's Bakery up on River Road, Kramer Hill Hardware on River Road, Tippy Toes Daycare in Belmar, where's the Audubon now? They're all over the place. We've had contractors, we've had bakers, we've had computer guys, Canon Computers is a graduate of ours. People that started out small, grew their companies to $1 million companies. Not by our will, but we helped them along the way when they needed to check in, get a little assistance, put them in the right direction, and went to the next level. These types of programs are an amazing thing because, you know, we're all here on a Saturday. We're all trying to make a difference in our own lives, as well as the mission of the program is the City of Camden. And a lot of people don't put a lot of value into these types of trainings because they don't see a lot come out of it. But if one of you guys got a multi-million-dollar contract as a result of this training, it's all worth it. Okay, Hispanic Chamber, I'm also the president of the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce here in the City of Camden, Camden County. I'll give you a story about the Hispanic Chamber in the city of Philadelphia. My father had founded it way back in time. He had a construction guy, an architect. Guy was trying to make a go of it, one-man shop. Joined the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. They set up doing business with the School District of Philadelphia, opened some doors for him. He got a contract to do design work for a school. 5 years later, he was building schools for the School District of Philadelphia. From a one-man shop to a 150-man shop. Multi-million-dollar company today. One door open. So when you're here, you hear everybody's name, you see what everybody's doing. You have LAEDA, you have Broadlands, you have ACP. We're here to open doors for you to be successful. And all we ask in return is pass it forward. Hire local residents, put them to work, because the longer the dollars stay here in the city of Camden, the more the economic pressure that we have here alleviates. Okay? So I want to introduce you to your shepherd in the business planning part of things, and that's Anthony Martinez. He's our Director of Business Services at LAEDA. He is our, oversees our entrepreneurial training class, our business services program. And he will be working with you very closely to put together your business plans. The importance of your business plan is just like when you buy a set of shelves from Target. That's your instruction book to build your shelves. This is going to be your instruction book to build your company. You all might be here, you might be here, but your business plan will guide you to there. And the more work you put into your plan, the more successful you'll be. Okay? So Anthony, why don't you give them a little orientation on what we'll be offering them over the course of the class and into the future?
Well, not just over the course of the class, because even like with our program, we provide follow-up services forever. It says for a year after that, but I have people who've been through our program and utilized our services 20 years ago, still calling. So we'll be providing startup assistance and business plan assistance and basically anything. Pretty much prior to my employment with LAEDA, I was a Rutgers Small Business Development Center business consultant, so my areas of expertise are nonprofits and for-profits. I assisted a lot of businesses in Camden City, Camden County, and Burlington County. I worked on projects in the city, I worked on a neighborhood plan in the city, I worked in Fairview. project in Fairview, we created a neighborhood plan. And we worked with, has anybody been in Yorkshire Square lately? Have you seen how the apartments have been renovated, and the homes have been renovated, and there's businesses there? I was involved with all that. And we did a lot. It was a good project, and we're looking to, now in the next stage of my career, we're looking to replicate that in the city and then other commercial corridors as well. Again, I can provide you with any startup or business plan assistance, pretty much anything from soup to nuts. If I don't know, I'll find out for you. You know, I'm here, I'm at your disposal. Call me, again, if I don't know. I always answer my calls, I'll call you back. I'm probably better electronically. I'll provide you all with some e-passing around and some business cards. You can email me and I will respond. I respond within the same day, even within the first couple of hours. I'm pretty good like that. Am I forgetting anything?
Got
I
it.
think I pretty much covered everything.
Be back in
If you
session
have
4 to
questions,
really get
yeah.
into it.
I'll be back for session 4 to teach you the business plan. We'll cover that and we'll take it apart, you know? And anything and everything you need to know with regard to your business.
That's gonna be within this program or outside this program?
No, that's within this program.
Okay.
But, you know, outside of this program as well, I can assist you. Give me a call, and I'm here, all right? And you, we'll see you outside of the program. Call me. Jorge has signed up for our Entrepreneur Development Training Program. We have, Ray mentioned our Entrepreneur Development Training Program. And it's a 9-week training program, it's 27 classes. And we teach people over that course, we cover everything from A to Z. Business plan, marketing, accounting, you name it. Any legal issues, licensing, zoning and inspections, things like that. State licensing, you name it.
And what's the magic word?
What's that?
It's free.
Yeah, and that's it. That's right. My program is free as well.
All right, thanks, Andy. And I got a few of you guys
Thank you.
mentioned NAMEC. I'm excited to get to introduce her. Because Connie and I are kindred souls in this mission of rebuilding the city of Canby. And her drive in NAMEC is to really connect our contractors into this redevelopment. I've been in the city, I used to build cabinetry, countertops. And I tried to get deals to do houses and stuff like that. I could never get over that hump. And obviously I'm not in business anymore, I moved on to another part of my life. But Connie believes in connecting our contractors with a passion. So what she brings to the table here is all that, everything else that is possible to bring to the table with construction, community development, and so on. So let me introduce Connie Jackson, President of NAMEC.
Thank you, Ray. Again, good morning to everyone. It is a pleasure to be here. I always enjoy doing community work, being involved with the community. And what we're doing here, I'm not going to do my commercial name man, but what we do here and what we have accomplished here is several entities, 3 or 4 different entities that have come together in order to support a program that will benefit you as contractors. We have training as well, but what I'd like to talk about is the bonding and the various types of capacity of bonding that you're going to need in order to get work. We had an event called Meet the Generals at Rutgers University in May. And we had contractors, our contractors as well as several other contractors, people who came from all over to this event. We also had primes that were there. Rutgers was there. And several of our contractors are now doing work for Rutgers University as a result of that, event. However, to do certain types of work at Rutgers, you must have bonding. Even for some of the small jobs, you have to have bonding. So it's not just the big jobs where you say, well, I need $500,000, $1 million, I need $250,000. No, on some of the small jobs, they may require you to have bonding. So it is unequivocally necessary to have it. So you're in the right place this morning. When we came in, we said, okay, where's the other folk? They're coming. we run training classes as well. Sometimes the first class, people have conflicts, and I got several calls. People had some conflicts and things of that nature. But they said, Connie, we're there, we're to be there. So, we know all these seats are going to be filled within the next week or so. So I'm encouraged that you're here this morning. The part that we're going to play is a number of different roles to assist you with back office support, assist you at every level. The National Association of Minority Contractors is the second oldest organization, minority organization in this country. The NAACP is the first, but the National Association of Minority Contractors is right behind them. We have 38 chapters across the country. New Jersey, I'm the president of the New Jersey chapter, and we have over 40 members so far in our organization and growing. We do a number of things. Training is a big part of what we do, because if you are not trained properly, then you will not be able to perform and continually get jobs. And for NAMAC, if one of our contractors is on a project, we want to know that they're doing a good job, and we do monitor them. We do monitor them. So if they're not doing a good job, then guess what? There's somewhere that prime can come and say, hey, some problems over here, can we work it out? And we do. Because we want to make sure that if you're carrying our banner or our name, that you are doing it well. Secondly, we advocate for our contractors. City Council has recognized our organization, the state, the assembly, and I also had the esteemed privilege of meeting President Barack Obama. And when I met him, I talked about NAMAC and about our contractors and what we need to do, and the type of support that we need to have. So we're moving. And I simply say to, tell somebody else, tell a friend about this class. Tell them it's not too late, they can still get in, and bring them. Our association is not just for minority contractors. Somebody asked me, does it include women? Women are minorities. And so, yes, it does. But not only does it include...
Particularly in construction.
Not only does it include minorities, but we also have associate members that are non-minorities. We have large primes that are part of our association. And then we have your Turners, your Bovis, and those entities that are also supportive of our organization at the executive level. My firm, Jackson Associates Group, I'm the president and CEO of my firm. My husband and I have a construction management, architectural engineering firm here in the city of Camden. And I'm from Camden, lived here all my life. So, I'm here to stay. But some of the projects that we've been blessed to be on. The Cooper Pavilion project is one of the largest projects that we've done. It's a $160 million project. We provided quality assurance, quality control for that project. Another one of our projects is Dudley Elementary School. It's about a $38 million project. With that, we're also involved in the Kettle School project, and we're doing a number of other projects. So again, we're here. Whatever you need, we're here to assist you. You will see us periodically in and out. We may teach some of the classes, but we're here to support you. Tell a friend you're in the right place.
Thank you, Connie.
Okay, my name is Brian Forte. I never get the same ovation that Connie gets.
In the one time you've actually followed Connie in your life.
You're not as pretty as Connie.
Well, I don't even get the sympathy. But I'll tell you before I start, I'll give you a little bit about myself, but we will learn about each other throughout, hopefully the next 11 weeks or so. I am really excited about this program. You should be excited about the people that are involved in this program. You can You know, it's not difficult to see the passion that these folks have for your own success. And you know, that kind of support doesn't come around all of the time. You know, it's not all the time that we have somebody that we can put our hand on their shoulder, we can go out for help, we can get the resources that we need to be successful, because everybody needs help. You know, if you think you're going to do this on your own, then you're mistaken, and I would assume most of you don't believe that since you're here today. So I applaud what Connie's doing and all of the work. I mean, to run her own business and be involved in the name act like she is, you know, that is 7 days a week, you know, 24 hours a day of working to try to support the community. What Ray's doing at Leada and all of the people that he's helped in this community, I mean, it just really takes a special person. And Ed and ACP, this whole idea, you know, I think we all embrace this idea that if we get something out of the community and the people that are giving us opportunities to succeed, and then we can give back, you know, by taking somebody that's been mentored here and providing them an opportunity to succeed too. Well, we may not solve this problem 6 months from now or a year from now, but over 10 years and 20 years, we can at least look back and say we've made a better place, and at the same time, we've made some money, right? So thanks to Ed and Connie and Ray, and thanks to all of you for participating. And here was my thank you to ACP along the way. All right, my name is Brian Forte. I was born in New Brunswick, New Jersey. Anybody ever been there?
Yeah.
Okay, St. Peter's Hospital. Okay, that's where I.
Rutgers.
There you
Sorry, I
go.
went to school.
Rutgers. I was a first-team All-American quarterback out of high school and played football at Rutgers. I broke the record for touchdown passes in the season in 1992. It's the same year I broke the record for interceptions. So, listen, hold your applause. Didn't I tell you at the beginning of this? Okay, I don't get the ovation that Connie gets, and there's a reason.
You're like a good home run hitter, you don't strike out a lot.
The right route.
Right, it's all very exciting. I was actually at an event a couple of days ago, and somebody came up to me and he said, "I'm the biggest Rutgers football fan in history," right? And I said, "Well, you are." And I said, "Well, I played quarterback at Rutgers." And he said, "What year?" And I said, "I was there, 92, 93. He said, "Brian Forte." He said, "Virginia Tech, you threw that last second touchdown pass to beat Virginia Tech 50 to 49 on homecoming day in 1992. And I was all excited that he remembered it. And then he said, "You threw 4 touchdown passes in that game." I said, "Yes, I did." He said, "You know, if you didn't throw the 5 interceptions, you weren't about to throw that last touchdown pass in the game."
But you kept it dramatic.
That's right. I said, "Well, you are the greatest football fan in Rutgers history, unfortunately for me." I own a surety company. That's good for all of you, right? We're here to find surety bonds. We concentrate on the small contractor, which is good for you, because everybody in this room is a small contractor. Over the last 4.5 years, we've written 11,423 bonds, at least as of December 31, for small contractors in 33 states throughout the United States. And those 11,000 plus bonds represented 6,500 small contractors. Our average bond size is about $400,000, although we go up to $5 million single project. So you can see where our sweet spot is. We like the small contracting entity. We believe that there are strong companies out there that know how to perform. And we like this business. Your jobs are over quickly. If something happens, we can step in with somebody else and finish the job. So we're not interested in going upstream. And it also gives us an opportunity to really know our clients one-on-one, because most of the people we're dealing with are business owners, and not gigantic corporations where you're getting some vice president of the Mid-Atlantic region and you can't really get your fingers on the culture. We've provided over $10 billion in small contractor bonds since 2003. We have a sister company which is participating in this program, which is Broadlands Financial Group, which I'm also a partner in. And what Broadlands does is provides bond alternative solutions for contractors and contractor mentorship and training and working capital loan facilitation through a number of different controlled devices that we employ. And we've actually put contractors on over $5.3 billion in projects since 2004 without bonds. And so what we're trying to do is create opportunities to get people on projects, right? And that's what we're doing at Broadland. Our surety company is treasury listed. We have a staff of surety and construction professionals on hand. We work at the Broadland side with over 750 lenders throughout the country, providing loss controls on construction and other training for lenders in the construction industry. We're involved in a number of working capital loan facilitation programs. In fact, one of Ed's goals and ideas for this program is to provide you with another opportunity down the road, which is graduates of this program may be able to take place in a working capital program that we're trying to put together, which is great. Something that's needed by the contracting community. We provide claims support, project-specific consultation, and participation strategy. You know, one of the nice things about this program, and I think it's a great idea to have everybody introduce themselves, is because right away I think you can see there's a synergy amongst the people in the room with what you're doing. You know, I mean, if you're doing some residential construction and you have somebody that wants to go green on their home right behind you, you know, you have somebody that's very familiar with the whole green technology. We're involved in a lot of different construction projects, which I think is good for the people. We built the largest concentrated solar thermal plant in the world in the last 20 years out in Nevada. We're on an 11 megawatt PV plant in Carbon County. We consult on a lot of IT and telephone installations. So here, you know, just between us, we can find business for people in the room, and we should continue to dialogue, because one of the great things about this program and these types of programs, it's a great networking opportunity. And as entrepreneurs, and that's what you are, you're entrepreneurs, okay? You're not carpenters, you're not plumbers, okay? You're entrepreneurs now, all right? You have to continuously get your brand out there and create opportunities for you to be successful. They're not going to come to you. You have to do things that create those opportunities. So this is what we do. We're based out of Philadelphia, Villanova, Pennsylvania. Okay, we were very happy the other night when we came back from the 15, 17-point deficit.
Some of us were.
Some of us were.
Some of us from DC were not.
Well, I also went to law school at Temple in North Philadelphia. So we were not happy last night, but we were happy on Thursday. Our philosophy is that you can perform. Okay, there's no question that the people in this room know their trade, know their business. Okay, what you need is some resources and support to provide you with the tools necessary in order to land these opportunities, okay, that are out there. Bonding is one of them. Okay, you cannot work on public jobs without a bond. So if you're doing residential work and you want to move into the public sector, you're going to have to get bonded. Okay? If you want to go back into bonding again, you know we're going to have you go back into public work. We're going to have to provide bonding. Now, some of the private jobs and owners are now requiring bonding. Some of the banks are requiring bonding. The general contractors are requiring their subcontractors to be bonding. The subcontractors then are requiring their subcontractors to be bonded, and everybody's trying to shift the risk, their bonding risk around. So this is bonding is an important part of the construction business, because it creates opportunities that open for you to move into different construction opportunities freely without having to wake up one day and say, hey, I've got this great opportunity, but I'm not ready for the bonding yet. The other thing it does is if you can get your companies in a position where you're ready for bonding, your companies will actually be very, very strong, because the bonding companies want to see companies set up in a certain way. And they've already figured out what goes wrong in construction companies. So when they're asking for certain things, for your company to be set up in a certain way, or for you to do certain things, or for you to operate in a certain fashion, what they're really saying to you is, we've seen companies fail because of this before. So it's not an opportunity like a lot of contractors say, oh man, I've got to get my financial statements by some CPA, and I've got to have cash in the bank, and I've got to work on this kind of project, not that kind of project, and stay with this geographic area. Well, what you're really hearing is somebody telling you, we know that contractors that step out here have a really good chance of failing. So you should take heed in this list of information that the surety is going to want to have from you, and the things that they're going to want to see from you. You should say, well, why are they asking for that? Well, they're asking for that because they know if you don't have it, if there's something wrong on their checklist, then the likelihood that you're going to fail is just increased by 25%. And that's good to know as a business owner. This program is a pretty cool program because there aren't too many programs in the country that have an actual surety company involved. Okay? And like Connie and Ray and Ed were saying earlier, you know, to the extent that you know other people that want to participate, let's get them in here. And we're actually going to give $25 gift certificates for any person that you bring into the program. As long as they're legitimate construction companies that may need bonding, you know. If you bring your brother Al in here, I'm not going to give you a gift certificate for Al, unless he teaches one of the sessions. Then we may consider it. But if you know other businesses that you think might benefit from a program like this, bring them in and we're going to reward you for that. Okay? We're going to cover a lot of different topics in this program. We're going to meet every Saturday, okay, for the next, it's a 14-week span, although we're not going to have any classes Easter weekend, we're not going to have any classes Memorial Day weekend. But we're going to try to get 11 sessions in that 14-week period. And there's also going to be one of these sessions, will not be on a Saturday, it will actually be a one-on-one review with a surety underwriter and a surety loss control engineer. So you will have an opportunity to sit down and hear the questions that most surety companies are going to ask, prepare to answer those, and then be evaluated by the surety company so that you can get feedback on what adjustments can we make if you want bonds within the next 60, 90, 120 days, 6 months, whatever your plan is, 2 years. Here's what we need to see going forward. So that's another great opportunity. You know, you would have to pay for that kind of consulting to go, but here they're just going to come to you. They're going to take a look at your business, they're going to ask you questions, they're going to go through some of your projects with you, they're going to talk about your resources and your personnel, what kind of work you do, and then they're going to tell you, okay, this is what we need to do in order to get you to bond. And you're going to be able to ask questions and have conversations with those folks, so that's great. And we're going to schedule those at your own convenience. Okay, so really we won't be here for 12 sessions, we'll be here for 11. You'll have a one-on-one review, and we'll have a couple of weeks off in between. But we'll talk about basic surety, we'll talk about accounting principles in order to get surety credit, and then we'll talk about some other things that have nothing to do with surety. Right? We're going to talk about business leadership and business management and business theory for contractors, because I'm under the firm belief that if you can run your businesses at a very high level, the whole surety problem goes away. Right? And the problems that we've seen in the small contractors, and this is not any novel concept, I mean, it's not my idea, but we've given programs like this all over the country. We just finished a 2-year program down in Miami-Dade. We had 150 contractors there. We've trained for the city of Atlanta, the city of Richmond, New York City, Los Angeles. So we've been in a lot of different places and a lot of different training programs, and what you see with the small contractor are folks like all of you. You just one day got up and you said, I'm tired of making millions of dollars for this company. I'm going to take the entrepreneurial plunge now, right? I can do this on my own. And then we wake up on Monday and we're like, what the heck did we just do, right? And I've been there myself because I had my own firm, okay, my own law firm. It was in my basement. When I got out of law school, I started at a big firm here in Philadelphia, Duane Morris, which is one of the biggest law firms in the world. I started my own law firm. And I woke up that Monday morning saying the same thing to myself. What now? You know, quarterly taxes, what is that? You know, if I have to hire somebody, I need paychecks, you know, payroll taxes, benefits, all of this stuff I didn't understand. I didn't know how to be a business leader. I didn't understand there was a science to sales. I didn't understand any of the things. I just was a good attorney, good at going into court and good at winning cases. And everything else was a great mystery to me. So a lot of our small contractors that we see, well, they don't have MBAs from Wharton, and they didn't really have an opportunity to have great mentorship coming up through the construction ranks because they were always in the field and never with a CEO and didn't hear all the problems that the construction company was going through on a day-to-day basis. But then they find themselves in this world where they have to run their own business and they're facing these problems for the first time, and it's difficult. So we're going to talk about some of those things, but we're going to tie them back to bonding. And you'll see that in today's session, that we'll talk about a lot of different things. And you'll see how it comes back to this whole notion of bonding. Credit, give you some credit. We've got to make sure that our credit scores are good, so we do a whole session on credit and improving credit scores. Financial review and analysis, bond alternative solutions, some sales and marketing. We'll have the one-on-one surety evaluation, and then we'll do a bond qualification and analysis. So it's a pretty comprehensive course. We get a lot of information over a short period of time. If you take a look at the 3-ring binders that you have today, these are for you. You'll notice there are tabs in those binders, and you'll see things like business plan, financial statement, resumes of key personnel, continuity plan. When we're done with this program, you're going to have every one of those tabs filled out, and you're going to be able to walk into a surety agent's office or into a meeting with a surety company and have anything and everything that that surety company is going to want to have from you or want to see from you, and you're going to have it in a manner and a fashion that sells your company to the surety. And that's what we're going to work on throughout the course of this program. So it's all there. When we're done, you may not be ready for some of the things. Maybe you don't have CPA-reviewed financial statements. Maybe you're not ready for bonding and you want to hold off on that. But you'll know how to put them together, you'll know where to get them, you'll know what the surety wants to see, and you'll know where that tab is. And it'll be ready there and waiting for you. So that's our goal, to get that notebook filled out. There's also a tab for you to put notes from this program in. And I don't hand out the program contents during the course because I feel that we should have communication and concentration on what we're talking about. But I will give you an online login to our website where you can go in and get this program today. Either save it to your hard disk or download it or print it, whatever you want to do. All of the program content will be available for you right online. And we'll give you that login and password later. Okay, a couple of ideas I want to leave with you before we start. And I will tell you that since we got a late start here today, I've cut some of the slides out of the program. We will definitely be out of here by 3:40 or 3:45 this afternoon. I'm just kidding. We're going to be out of here before 12. Okay, I saw some eyes there saying, are you kidding me? The game started at 1. Surety's important, but it's not that important, okay? All right, so a couple of ideas. Okay, number one, okay, this is a great quote from Charles Dubois. Okay, the important thing is this, to be able at any moment to sacrifice what we are for what we can become. Okay, and that's what we're really here today doing. We're saying we're going to sacrifice a little bit. Our Saturday mornings, okay, look, your competitors aren't here today, right? Okay, good for you. All right, they're out there, we don't know what they're doing. They're at the Dunkin' Donuts, right? They're maybe getting a Slurpee at the Wawa, you're here. Okay, because you're sacrificing this morning for what you can become. And you can't be great without sacrifice. Okay, and it doesn't matter who it is. Okay, whether you talk about Michael Jordan, did not just become the greatest player ever. Okay, that was 22 years of on the court, late at night, somebody looking for him when it was dinner time, and he's out there shooting. You know, Tiger Woods, Joe Montana, any of these great athletes. Okay, that's because they paid the price, right? Yeah, I had a football coach. And maybe if some of you saw Return of the Titans, the movie, right? You see one of those coaches in there. I had a coach who said the same thing as one of the coaches in that movie, that winners pay the price, okay? And it's true, okay? You need to work harder than everybody else, because if you're not getting your companies better every single moment, somebody else is. And then you're going to wake up one day and you're going to say, hey, what happened? The competitor just overtook us. I just went through this with my own company. We did an analysis of our website hits. And when I saw the analysis, what I saw was that 2 of our major competitors, one out of San Antonio and one out of Oregon, were creaming us on website optimization. We completely failed in that regard. As many different areas as we were beating them, they were killing us. People were constantly searching for our product line and services, and they were getting to their websites. So we had to correct that, okay? And it was painful, and we had to sacrifice some things. But these are the things that you're going to have to do every single day. The other thing I want you to do is keep an open mind. You're going to hear new ideas. in this program. You're gonna say, Brian, that's crazy, that's silly, this is juvenile, this is elementary, okay? I want you to remember one thing. Ideas are the leader's sword. Do not rain on other people's ideas. The great leaders are never in a meeting saying, that's ridiculous, my idea is better. But you're always in meetings and you hear people saying that, right? You have an idea, you have something to say, somebody stands up across the room and says, nonsense. This is the way you do it, this is blah, blah, blah. Leaders don't do that. Leaders know that the best idea is probably not the most obvious idea. If you are in a meeting with Ed, okay, you will never hear Ed say, that's a ridiculous idea, I don't like it. You might hear him say, not on point with what we're talking about now. You might hear him say, let's table that for a discussion next week. You might hear him say, perhaps we're not ready for that. Okay? But you will never hear him say, to the trash can with that idea. Okay? Because he knows other people's ideas can help us be more profitable, make more money, help more people, whatever your endeavor is. So in this program, I say the same thing. You know, keep an open mind. You're going to hear a lot of things in here. Some of them may seem juvenile, but they're not. Because just like anything else you do, running a business requires a fundamental foundation of basic skill sets. Okay? Some of us can do it because we have some natural and raw talent and some drive and some passion, and we can fight through it, fight through it, fight through it. But if you're fighting through it, you can't grow, right? You have to understand that there is a science to growing a business. It's not all luck. Okay? It's not all opportunity. Okay? There's a basic fundamental foundation of the way great leaders think, the way great salespeople think. And we're going to talk about some of those things in the program. If we can get to the next slide. All right. You only have to do 2 things here, which is great. You have to show up, okay? And you have to implement one idea from the program each week into your business. That's all and it's not going to be hard. Just go back and implement one idea. Because if you do that, at the end of 11 weeks, you would have implemented 11 initiatives into your program. And it doesn't matter how simple they are. But if you take 11 ideas, one idea every week, and you implement it into your business and what you do every day, and you live by that idea, maybe you adjust it, you adapt it, you modify it, you make it better over time. But if you begin to build some principles for what your company needs, and what kind of culture it's going to be, and how it's going to grow, and how you're going to act as a leader, your company's going to develop like a child, right? Every single day, my 5-year-old comes in with a new idea that he's going to do. Now, if I rained on all of those ideas, where would he be when he's 15 or 16? Be a mental mess, right? Dad never liked one of my ideas. But you don't, you know? Yes, it's a good idea to break those 2 sticks up and bury them. Greatest idea I ever heard, son. That sounds like fun, right? It's a great idea to get all your clothes all muddy, okay? You've got to nourish that young mind, just like you have to nourish your company. And eventually, you build a character for your company and a culture for your company, a way of doing things. And showing up. I'm a fairly young guy to own a surety company, right? It's treasury listed, AM Best rated, A- insurance carrier, licensed in 33 states and the District of Columbia. Right? I've been a part owner in this company with 6 other partners since I was 33 years old, 32 years old. And I'll tell you how I wound up here, because it really wasn't by anything great that I did. When I was a law student, when I was an attorney at Duane Morris, the partners came around to my class. We were all first-year associates. And they said, we have a special project, but you have to be out of the office in Ballotton. Then our offices were in Ballotton, now we're in Villanova. And they said, we need a volunteer. We don't know when you'll be back. Could be 6 months, could be 10 months, could be 12 months, but you have to go on site, one of our clients. And so they said, we need to know tomorrow if anybody is interested. So about 14 of the associates in our class, we were sitting around having lunch, and to a T, everybody was completely, nobody liked this idea. They all thought, if I'm out of the office, then nobody's gonna see me, I'm not gonna be around, I'm not gonna make partner. Now I was thinking to myself, there's some advantages to being out of the office. Number one, I'm not going to make anybody mad over the next 6 months because nobody's gonna see me, right? When I come back, half of you are gonna be gone, or would have done something silly, okay? And so just by being out of the office for 6 months, I'm gonna move up the ranks automatically. Number two, now I'm outside of Philly, I don't have to pay 5% city wage tax anymore, all right? So I took it. This is with the owners of the company that I work with now. And we were able to build a relationship, you know? And they weren't used to somebody sort of coming in at 7 and leaving late, but working at a big firm. Those are the hours that you're used to. That wasn't so bad for me. So they saw, wow, this is somebody with some passion, you know, for our business that really is on our team. And I decided to open up my own law firm about 5 years later, and the two owners of this company said, well, we'll send you 60 or 70 cases. And they did. And now I didn't have to worry about paying for my rent, or my secretary, or any of that. Just because I showed up, you know, just because I decided I'm gonna go out there. Now the company was formerly owned by Zurich of Switzerland. They sold the company in 1997. And in 2002, the end of 2002, they had a chance to buy it back. And they said, will you come on site for a couple of weeks because we constantly need legal help here? I said, no problem. I'll come out there. It's completely swamped in the office, didn't have enough help, didn't have enough support, had all sorts of things going on. Just said, yes, I will show up. And while I'm sitting out there, you know, for 4 or 5 weeks, the CEO of the company comes in and says, look, when we buy this company back, do you want to just come on? You can run our legal and claims department on the surety side. You can, we got this idea of spinning off our loss controls company into a company called Broadlands. You can run that. We'll make you the executive vice president of the company, and we'll give you a piece of the company. So I went home, talked to my wife. We decided we shut the law firm down, and we would join this company. But had I said to this partner back in 1998, no, I'm not leaving either, right? I'm not going out there. Well, why do that? Had I said to them, I'm too busy, I'm going to trial next week to come out to your site, right? So part of it, 98% is showing up, and you've done that today. And if you continue to show up, you're going to continue to do well. Okay, so why are we here? To make more money, right? We already heard from the nonprofits, enough with that, right? I'm here to make money. Just in case anybody was wondering, okay, I don't want any misconceptions about my intentions here, all right? My only intentions are to make money. Why? Well, because if I make money, I can do things like this and support the community. If I make more money, I can create more jobs for the people in my company, more opportunities for them to grow with the company. And I can send my kids to college, right? So I have personal and selfish reasons too. And you have whatever reasons you do. But we're all here to make money. Make a profit in our business and make money in what we're doing every single day. Also, you can buy a better clicker if you make more money. One of the ways we can create opportunities is by putting ourselves in a position where we can take advantage not only of this stimulus package, and right now they're saying there's about $150 billion earmarked for construction-related activities with stimulus, but every year in this country, the construction's a $1 trillion industry. $1 trillion industry in the United States, okay? A significant portion of that every single year is public works. Okay? And in order to work those public jobs, we've got to have the bonding. Now the problem with our small contractors is what? In order to get the bonding, you're going to need certain working capital and net worth requirements, certain financial stability. You can't build the working capital and net worth because you can't get the job. You can't get the job because you don't have the bond. You can't get the bond because you don't have the net, and around and around and around you go. So one of the things we're going to do throughout the course of this program is we're going to find ways to break this cycle, right? To solve this disease. Not the symptom, okay? Because it's not the bonding that's really the disease. It's how do you get on those jobs. If you can get on those jobs, well, then you can build the working capital and bonding is going to come. So are there ways to get you on jobs without bonds? Are there ways to sell your company so that you can create more opportunities for your company than the guy down the street can? Are there ways to brand your business so that you can create opportunities? Are there ways to speak to people in order to get them to buy from you. We're going to talk about all sorts of things. We're going to talk about bond alternative solutions. We're going to talk, how do you go to the banks and get working capital when nobody can get working capital right now? Right? We were talking about that today. What's going on with the banks out there? Well, we work with almost 800 banks throughout the United States, controlling their construction loan portfolios. And what's going on with the banks right now is they're too busy shoring up their balance sheets to really worry about lending. You know, when you think of it, you're going in and you're talking to some branch manager or some loan officer, right? You're not talking to the folks at headquarters that are in a whole heap of mess right now, right? That are trying to solve 2,000 problems that they never had to deal with before. Now, banks can lend based on their capital and surplus, right? So they can, just like an insurance company, right? They can write loans. If they have $100 million in capital surplus, they can write a loan up to such an amount, right? And aggregate loans as well. Well, you know, when you've got assets in your bank that are going like this, you know, and your loans are staying the same, well, now all of a sudden you can't write any more loans. So when you're getting support and TARP money and other things, get you right back to where you were to begin with, okay, all you're doing is shoring up your balance sheet. You're not doing anything else, and a lot of these banks don't have the luxury to make loans right now. But we need to find them. That can't stop us, okay? In September, my sales team, we have a sales meeting every single Monday. I'm a senior vice president of sales. I sit in on their sales meeting because I think it's important. And I heard many of our salespeople, we have salespeople in Phoenix, California, Miami, Orlando, Atlanta, all over the place we have these salespeople, business development people. And the topic of the conversation was recession. Recession, right? It's going to be very difficult. Our lenders are not lending, is what they were saying. People are not building, is what they were saying. We don't know whether we're going to make the budget in the fourth quarter. And if we don't make the budget in the fourth quarter, we're not going to make the budget for the year. And this conversation was going on and going on, and usually I sit back and I don't say anything and I let our senior vice president of sales talk. But I had had enough. And as a business leader, I had to break the cycle of what was happening there. And so I said to my business development people, I said, make no mistake, Broadlands Financial Group is not participating in this recession. We're refusing to participate. And if anybody wants to participate, then they ought to call Human Resources right after and resign. Because we don't have time for people that want to participate. Now, obviously, the recession is going to hit you, right? But the most important thing that I could do in that meeting was to tell them, you're going to be accountable, right? You don't have an excuse. Because we could easily lay everybody off. I'll take 2 years off, I'll keep one small business unit, we'll lay 80 people off down the road, and I'll enjoy my life for 2 years, spend some more time with my kids, and 24 months from now, we'll start back up again. We'll start this thing all over again. I don't care, right? But that's not really fair to the other 85 people, right? And their families, and their children, and their grandparents that they have to take care of, and their parents that they have to take care of. So we had to set an idea right then and there that you're going to make your budgets. I don't care what you have to do. It may be hard, but I don't need you for the easy times. I need you now. Now is when you show me how valuable you are. Not when everything's exploding and housing is increasing 15% a year and you can get lending from anybody you want in the country and people are looking for construction services and consultants. That's not what I need you. I need you now. So you're going to show me what you've got now. And you know what? 38% gross revenue increase over 2007. Now, as a management team, we had to do some things different once we heard their cry for help. We began to completely readjust our focus. I began spending personal time with the salespeople, flying all over the place to their meetings, making sure they were prospecting the right people because we had to make sure they were pinpointing the right prospects and not wasting a whole lot of time. So we shifted the operational focus of the company for a period of time in order to support those salespeople, also to let them know you're not in it alone, okay? We understand, we heard your cry for help, which is what it was, and we're going to be there and support you. And because we were able to do that and make a shift and make a good leadership decision and set a good agenda for that group, they were able to meet their budgets and then some. And we have to do the same thing here. We have to say, forget it. We're not going to accept this cycle. We are going to break it. And that's what we're going to do in this program. That's why I said earlier, it's not a surety program, it's a business program. We're going to talk about a lot of different things, not just surety, but things that are going to help us get the surety down the road, and things that you can use every single day in your business. So you don't have to worry about coming in here and saying, boy, another surety program. No way. We're going to talk about a lot of cool stuff. A lot of things that help me every day, a lot of things I've learned from other people, a lot of things that I've read. We're going to put them all in this program, and you're going to be able to take them and run with them. Some of our prior program participants have described this as a mini MBA with a concentration in surety. And that's really what it is. Because if we talk about surety for 3 hours straight, you'd be bored out of your minds. But I think what you'll see is when we talk about these topics, how they link back to what we're trying to do on the surety side. So, let's talk about some business ideas. Let's have a dialogue. And let me ask you some questions, okay? What was the first automobile on the road? Ford. These are easy questions, right? We start you off with the easy ones. Except it wasn't Ford. It was the Derriere. Okay? Running by February 1893 and ready for the road trials by September, the car built by Charles and Frank Derriere was the first gasoline-powered car in America. The first run on public roads was made on September 21, 1893 in Springfield, Massachusetts. They purchased a used horse-drawn buggy for $70 and installed a 4-horsepower single-cylinder gasoline engine. The Derriere. How about the first personal computer? This one's a little easier. Brainiac? That was my nickname in high school. Brainiac. Come on, you know this one.
I think it begins with an
E? You had bonding before. You're the smartest in the room then, right?
You just do another
Or
intersection.
maybe not the smartest. You had bonding before. Come on. Anybody? Apple? Dell?
I would say Apple.
Commodore? Nope, MITS.
I know.
There you go. The MITS Altair 8800 was a microcomputer designed from 1975 based on the Intel 8080A CPU. It actually, the first program language for the machine was Microsoft's founding product, Altair Basic. We've all heard of Basic, right? But it was MITS. It was not Apple. It was not IBM. How about the first television set?
It was here in
RCA? Philips? Sylvania? RCA. Or Dumont? Dumont Laboratories was founded in 1932 by Alan Dumont. He and his staff were responsible for many early technical innovations, including the first all-electric consumer television set in 1938. Its television set soon became the gold standard for the industry. How about the first television network? NBC, CBS, ABC, anybody want to go ESPN? No? Come on. If Dumont built a television, he better have a network. Dumont, right? The Dumont Television Network was the world's first officially licensed commercial television network, beginning operation in the United States in 1946. A few months after selling his first television set, he opened this experimental station. Makes a lot of sense, right? The guy builds a TV. Then he's saying, now what? Right? Exactly. First washing machine. Dumont. See, this is a fast class. I mean, that's why we're going to cut this thing to 6 weeks, because you guys, right? We're going along the same page. Maytag, General Electric. Nobody. No, now you're all scared, right? Hurley. Come on now. No questions. We don't do questions. Okay.
Well, isn't that the standard with almost anything? Someone else invents it and comes up with this concept, and someone larger improves on it.
That's exactly right.
That's the concept.
Right?
I mean, the Colonel made $1 million, and his secretaries ended up, And it goes back to what you said, that people don't have the paradigm shift, to know that it can be better than what you have in front of you.
You're absolutely right. And sometimes, not just better. Sometimes the product,
Efficient.
it's funny that you said this, and I did not pay you, did I?
No.
No, I did not.
If you
But
would
someday
like
I
to.
would.
I'm open.
Right.
All right, well, let's do this
Go
one,
ahead.
because I think we're hanging in your direction here, you know? How about the best tasting soft drink in America? Okay, it's got letters C-O-L-A in the name.
Right.
Two names, not Pepsi,
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
That's the brand name.
Right, except it's not, it's Royal Crown, okay? People prefer the taste of Royal Crown to Coca-Cola 55 to 45, and yet Royal Crown holds 2% of the market. And this is why I was coming back to what you were saying, Al, because sometimes you don't have the better product. Sometimes people don't like your product as much,
Better market.
right? But yet you lead the industry. You are the industry leader. Sometimes you're not first, but yet you're the industry leader, right? And there's a concept out there, and it's called, at least Malcolm Gladwell coined it as the stickiness factor, okay? Does your brand stick? Do people remember you, okay? Microsoft, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Ford. Does Ford build the best cars in the world? Everybody knows Ford, right? Royal Crown is the best tasting soft drink, according to the people, right? And yet, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, these are the drinks that we all think about. Talk about being sticky, okay? Now here's a woman, and when you read these slides, listen to the way they are written, okay? Listen to the words that are used. People who are going out and they're being sticky in their industries. In the late 1960s, Joan Cooney set out to start an epidemic. An epidemic, not a business, not a company, not a television show, an epidemic. Specific amongst 3, 4, and 5-year-old children. Her agent of infection, her infectious behavior was television, and the virus she wanted to spread was literacy. The show would last 1 hour, run 5 days a week, and the hope was that if that hour was contagious enough, it could serve as an educational tipping point, giving children from disadvantaged homes a leg up once they began elementary school, spreading pro-learning values from watchers to non-watchers, affecting children and their parents, and lingering long enough to have an impact well after the children stop watching the show. All right, what is the name of that show?
It's a puppet show.
Sesame Street, okay? Sesame Street. That show sticks, right? 40 years, 75 to 95% viewer attention rating. That means nobody leaves Sesame Street once they turn it on. They don't go get a cup of coffee, right? They don't go get a Slurpee. The kids don't get Twinkies. They stay in front and they watch it. The show sticks. I'll tell you one of the reasons this show sticks, and we're going to talk about stickiness a little bit later, is because parents watch this show too. They designed this program for adults as well as children, so that at the time when this program was launched, the then non-working mothers would sit and watch the show with the children. That's why there are adults on the show, the puppets talk, right? You got Mr. Hooper's, shop there. I mean, you've got real life things going on in that show. How about this? Another easy one. Just prior to the onset of the Revolutionary War, the most famous historical example of word-of-mouth epidemic took place when a man on his horse took a piece of news that the British are coming, and delivered that message from western Massachusetts through Lexington and down south of New York State. Who was that?
Paul Revere.
Paul Revere. No, it was William Dowse. See, William Dowse set out at the same time, carrying the same message and traveling more than 4 times the distance of Paul Revere, beginning north and west of Boston and carrying his message into Pennsylvania. Now, why do we remember Paul Revere, but we do not remember William Dowes? William Dowes did 1,000 times the work that Paul Revere did in attempting to get this message out. The reason is Paul Revere was sticky. He had the qualities of a person capable of creating a social epidemic. He was a connector. He was somebody that connected with people, right? He was intensely social. He was a fisherman. He was a hunter. He was a card player. He was a theater lover. He was a frequenter of pubs, and he was a businessman. He was a member of social clubs and one of the most likely to be at the center of events. He would routinely ride from Boston to Philadelphia for meetings and social events. He was out there getting it done. He was out there introducing himself to people. And when the time came, when the time came for this all-important message to be delivered to as many people as possible, he knew who to go to. He didn't have to ride door to door and tell every single person, right? He knew whose door to knock on. He knew the best routes and the most populated areas. He knew that those that were held in high esteem in their respective towns, and if they got the word out and said, hey, I've heard from Paul, that the British are coming, that people would believe that person, and that it would spread. And as a result, he didn't need to ride to Philadelphia. He didn't need to cover that distance. His message spread like a verbal epidemic covering 40 miles in 5 hours because his brand sticks. His brand stuck. William Dowes, right, who was really the guy who was screaming the British was coming. Can you imagine riding a horse from Boston to Philadelphia? Right? Nobody remembers him. We remember Paul Revere. Why? Because he stuck. And this comes back to your point, Al. It's not first in line. It's first in mind. Whoever tells the best story wins. Right? That's just the way it is. Whose story will stick? Will yours? Will yours? You know, when we asked everybody in here to introduce yourself, what do? Do you have a sticky story? You might have a lot of information about your company, but do you have a sticky story? Right? Is somebody going to remember you? Anybody watch American Idol? Okay, Simon, you know, what does he say? That performance was forgettable. It's forgettable, right? That's one of the things he's saying. Now, maybe he never read, you know, Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell. But what he's really saying is you don't stick. You didn't show me anything different. You sang, it was nice, it was okay, but you don't stick. Nobody's going to remember you. And if you're not remembered, then you can't lead. You have to find a way to get people to remember your company. Okay? 11,423 bonds. 5.4 billion people put on projects without bonding. Right? $10 billion in bonds to small contractors. I provide bonds to contractors, average bond size $400,000. This is my audience. This is where I'm going. Now you're going to remember, and that wasn't even a great slide, but it had some of these things that are important, okay, that are larger than life, that appear grand, right, and that hit right at home with what we're doing today. You need a story like that, and we're going to get there. Why? Because we've got to court attention. We've got to court attention. Everything is judged by its appearance. Perception is reality. That's cliche, yes, but it's true. Okay? You perceive me one way today just because I told you. Young guy owning an insurance company, I could really be a big loser. Right? You don't know that. But perception is reality. What is seen counts for nothing. Never let yourself get lost in the crowd or be buried in oblivion. Stand out. Make yourself a magnet of attention by appearing larger, more colorful, more mysterious than the bland and timid masses. Those bland and timid masses are your competitors. Let them be bland and timid. You need to stand out. You need to be Paul Revere, not William Dowes. You don't need to ride from Boston to Philadelphia. Paul Revere did not. His brand was sticky. His brand stuck. You need to get there too. And that's why when we talk about this program, we talk about it being a business program. Because one of the things we're gonna have to learn in this program is how to sell, right? Why? Because if you want surety bonds, what are you doing?
When we sell our company
Sell your company to who?
to potential buyers, to the government itself for projects, general contractors, so the projects that are coming.
Projects that are coming? How about to the surety company?
Yeah,
That's gonna write you a bond.
Surety company, bankers.
You want them to buy. And the point here is, everything you do is a sale. Everything you do in life, right? When I gotta try to put my 6-year-old to bed every night, I am selling, right? I am selling, right, to that 6-year-old. When I'm on the phone with a prospect, I'm selling. When we're in this room here, I'm selling. There's a certain image, there's a certain perception. I want you to think I'm smart. I want you to think that I know what I'm talking about, right? Because everywhere I go, my brand is going with me, okay? And we're going to take a 5-minute break, and when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about sales and get right into bonding. All right, 5 minutes? Good?
Thank you, buddy.